in business here, so welcome everybody. Thank you for coming to tonight's meeting. For those who are listening one way or another, you can go to our website and there is an alert that'll pop up which will allow you to listen and watch through that. So anyway, with that, I will call this meeting to order, and our first business will be the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, first is to approve the agenda. I'd like to add a couple items in there. One is pertaining to the state auditor request, and also secondly, options B and D that we approved last month to put on the ballot. Just a brief update. Anybody else?
Where do you want those placed?
Under old business.
And are you done, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Under old business, I'd like to add the report request of the township property coverage insurance.
Okay.
What was that?
Property, yeah, you had to talk into your
I have a quick question. With some of these topics, I know that Cindy tries to do her due diligence in regards to asking for agenda items ahead of time. So are these just something that just came up before?
Yeah, one of them I could have had that state auditor request, but the option B and D, that's just been kind of, Cindy has it in the packet here tonight, so I'm just moving it on to the agenda.
Okay.
So what was Tony's item?
Tony's item was
Insurance.
property insurance. All right, do we have a motion to approve then?
So moved.
Second? I'll second that. All in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, aye.
Clerk's report.
Okay, we got meeting minutes from July 11th, 2024. The meeting was called to order at 6:30 p.m. at Moose Lake City Hall by Chairman Alan Overland. The meeting opened with the Pledge of Allegiance. Present supervisors Al Overland, Heidi Cronin, Tony Bakhtiari, Clerk Walcher, Treasurer Horgan, Coordinator Brittany Stampahar, Zoning Administrator Scott Beckman, Assistant to the Road Supervisor Vern Anderson, Recorder Amy Perrine. Approval of agenda. The agenda was approved. Clerk's report. May 9th, 2024. Board meeting minutes were read by Clerk Walcher. Minor corrections made. Motion by Bakhtiari to approve the June minutes with corrections. Second by Overland. Motion carried. Treasurer's report. Treasurer Horgan reviewed the financial reports. The total cash balance as of June 30th, 2024 was $944,109.75. Motion by Bakhtiari to approve Treasurer's report, second by Overland. Motion carried. The detailed financial reports are posted on the Township website. Public input. Sue Webb commented. Old business. Overland discussed options for the combined clerk-treasurer position. Matt Attorney Fensky. Two options can be considered, and both require electors to approve. The position of clerk and/or treasurer can be appointed rather than elected. This is called Township Government Option B. Another option is to combine the offices of clerk and treasurer. This is called Township Government Option D. Option D requires periodic financial audits. Motion by Overland to add both ballot questions for Option B and Option D on the November 2024 ballot. The clerk is directed to notify the county auditor accordingly. Seconded by Bakhtiari. Motion carried 2-1, Cronin abstained. Bakhtiari stated he has conflict with leading the town hall steering committee and will defer to having Chairman Overland take over the committee leadership. Meeting will be Monday, July 15th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. at the Old Town Hall. Horgan recommended a one-page manifest for the claims along with a review of all invoices. He presented the claims processing, mail handling, and record retention policy for immediate adoption. Motion by Bakhtiari to approve the one-page manifest and the policy presented and attached to the minutes, seconded by Overland. Motion carried. New business. Approval of election judges. Motion by Cronin to approve the list of election judges, seconded by Overland. Overland, aye. Cronin, aye. Bakhtiari, nay. Motion carried. List of judges is attached. Motion by Bakhtiari to increase the pay from $18 to $19 per hour, seconded by Overland. Motion carried. Approve Moose Lake Golf Club liquor license. Motion by Cronin to approve the 2024 liquor license for the Moose Lake Golf Club with no fee, seconded by Overland. Vote taken. Motion carried. Vote 2-1. Bakhtiari, nay. Discuss insurance policy. Bakhtiari, discuss coverages for the garage, Old Town Hall, and bridge. Bakhtiari will research maximum value the town hall, garage, and bridge can be insured for with the insurance policy. Website updating. Overland requested Coordinator Stampahar to research options for improved website development and maintenance. Board of Supervisors other. Bakhtiari reported the monthly town board meetings can continue at the Moose Lake City Hall until the end of the year. Road update. Assistant to the road supervisor Anderson reported on the completed and pending road work. The report will be posted on the township website. 8. Anderson reported the Brant Road box culvert would qualify for state funding. Motion by Bakhtiari to have MSA work with Pine County to coordinate the project. Second by Cronin. Vote taken, motion passed. Motion by Bakhtiari to obtain quotes to crush 10,000 yards of gravel at the township pit with advertisement in the newspaper and on the township website. Seconded by Overland. Vote taken, motion carried. The coordinator will create the advertisement. Motion by Bakhtiari to change the position title of the assistant to the road supervisor to road manager. Seconded by Overland. Vote taken, motion passed. Zoning update. Beckman reported 8 permits, 1 emergency permit. He has received favorable responses from blight notices. Beckman requested the board consider funding options over a 5-year period that could attach to the property taxes to assist owners that have financial hardships. Planning Commission update, no report. Fire District update, 12 calls, 7 medical, 1 false alarm, 1 gas leak, 1 motor vehicle, no injury, 1 motor vehicle with injuries, 1 vehicle fire. Bakhtiari has received 2023 financial report. Review claims for a total of $164,400.09. Motion by Bakhtiari to approve claims as listed, second by Overland. Vote taken. Overland, aye. Bakhtiari, aye. Cronin, nay. Motion carried. Motion by Bakhtiari to pay Rory Butkowitz $100 for audiovisual services at monthly board meetings, seconded by Overland. Vote taken, motion carried. Open mail and review. Motion to adjourn meeting at 9:11 p.m. by Bakhtiari, second by Overland. Vote taken, motion carried.
Very good, thank you. You've heard the minutes. Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, all in favor of, a motion would be in order to approve the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second that. All in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, aye.
I have a couple other issues to go over for
Okay.
the clerk. The first one is, I've been going back and forth with the treasurer on some of the reports that he gives me for the claims. And I can't convince him of what is not right with them. I've given you all copies. It's all the clerk's books here. And I've given you copies of reports that Ron has given us in the past as a sample. And I'd really like to see all that again, because that's where I take my information from, is the reports that he has, given us every month. And that's all in QuickBooks. So there should be no reason that Sandra Nelson can't spit these out, along with the checks.
Which
then the
is-
other thing
Which
is-
is it you're looking for? Account balances, did you say? No, which report?
Well, these are the reports that Ron gave us every month.
Right.
And that's where I get my information from.
Okay,
And part of that is, one of the reports used to be the claims report.
okay.
And the claims report is the part that I can't convince Paul that he's doing incorrectly, because he's adding in amounts twice for payroll. The report that Ron gave us was correct.
Okay,
The reports that Paul has been giving us are not correct, so that the claims balances on each month that are, listed in the minutes are not right.
okay. So what we had in the minutes, you're saying is not correct then?
The claims amounts for the last 3 or 4 months are not going to be correct, because he's adding in, what it is he's giving a gross amount for payroll when he should be giving the net amount, because on the bottom, he's paying the taxes, which is the same amount.
Oh, I see.
He's adding the taxes in twice, or some of the taxes is what it is. So the amounts are going to be wrong. So what I'm asking for is, please, can I have the same reports that Ron used to give us?
All right. Yeah, we can certainly have that discussion, absolutely.
And part of the other thing is I think he's doing it again, he's putting the reports on the website, but there's two months of them that are missing that, should be on there. I think March and April are missing, or April and May.
Maybe April, May, I don't think
Yeah,
Paul was even
yeah.
on in March yet. Was he?
Yeah, probably April and May.
March, he
End of
came,
March.
end of March, yeah,
Yeah.
so it'd be, okay. All right, yeah.
So if I could get some support on convincing him that, maybe we should have the same reports.
Yeah, all right. I can have that discussion with him, certainly.
Okay. And then another thing I wanted to bring up is the primary election is Tuesday. So anybody that wants to sign up for the treasurer's position, the clerk's position, or the one supervisor's position that are up for election, I have the forms to fill out. They're due by 5 o'clock on Tuesday, along with the $2, the $2 fee to file. So if anybody's interested in that, I have them with me. Otherwise, by Tuesday at 5 o'clock. And of course, that's primary election day too, so we will be out at the poll building voting.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it. Thank
Very
you.
good. Very good. I've got it up here. All right, treasurer's report.
Yes, thank you, Chair Oberlin. Everyone, my name is Brittany Stampahar. Thank you. I'll start over. Thank you, Chair Oberlin. This is Brittany Stampahar. I'm the new Township Coordinator, and as of July 31st, I am the Deputy Treasurer, and that means that I take the place of Paul Horgan when he is unavailable, and today he is out of town, so I will be giving the Treasurer's report. If you have questions, I will gladly write them down if I cannot answer them, and I will gladly respond to you tomorrow or Monday when I have the answer. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so here's the treasurer's report. The key issues that we're looking at today are going to be the July month-end financial results, the remaining cash for the remaining of 24, and the money for 25. And then we're going to be looking at an audit proposal. So the July 2024 revenue is a total of $15,002.31. That's coming, as you can see on the board here. Hold on, let me make that bigger. Never mind, can everyone see that okay? Okay. So you can see again, the July 2024 revenue, $15,002.31, is from zoning permits, from interest, and from government aid. You can see our account balances are a total of $779,371.80. You can see our accounts listed on the left there. Some of the major expenses from this month are listed here. You have the Board of Supervisors, you have the clerk, the treasurer and accounting, the coordinator, planning and zoning department, public works, highways, streets and roads. You have the Pine County assessment, which we were charged for this month. And you also have the, I believe it's the end and the final bill for the Sturgeon Island Bridge cover. This was a budget that's been gone over the last 2 or 3 months regarding the Sturgeon Island budget cover. I believe that is complete now. Is that correct, Karen?
Almost, just a couple outstanding things, electrical and some staining to be done.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so looking at the money forecast, these are unofficial estimates. So we still have the remaining of Q3 happening in 2024, and then we still have Q4 in 2024. If you look at that, we will be receiving a total of $275,000 for the remainder of 2024, and then in 2025, the total amount of the levy and other income will be $475,000. That gives us a total of $1,529,371. Again, that's 24 and 25 combined. It's been suggested that we put $500,000 of it in a reserve fund, and so the net cash available for Q3, Q4 of 24, and all of FY25 is $1,050,000 if we put $500,000 in a reserve fund. So next, this is something that Paul Horgan would like to discuss. This is the plan and allocate money. This is for when we do our budget upcoming. Wants to look at roads, culverts, bridges, ditches, signs, elections, other services, officials, and overhead. And he would like a strict budget and a detailed budget for all of those items. And lastly, from what I understand, Paul Horgan sent out commentary to each board supervisor, just in case my words were not enough. So that is the summary of the report. Also, supervisors, you have in front of you a summary balance sheet for all deposits and investments in the bank account. You have a financial activity for July 2024. You have the year-to-date financial activity comparison, and then the year-to-date budget versus actual, all in front of you. And I will try and filter any questions if there are any. That's fine.
Not at this time, I don't. Tony?
No, I do not.
All right, with that, yeah, Paul has some proposals here for us that we can certainly look forward or look into as we look towards the end of this year and budgeting for next year, and how we will move forward into next year with the budget that we have. Let's see, I will give that, let's see. Very good. With no other questions, is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second that. All in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Aye.
Coney, aye.
All right, public input. Rory, you're close by. You want to grab the sheet there, or somebody? Thank you. Sent one. There we go. Thank you very much. All right, Jordan Hegland.
Good evening. should all have my documents in front of you there, I believe. Talking about the Southern Carlton, Northern Pine County Police District that we're trying to get going.
Who is we?
So I'm currently working with all the municipalities that you can see in the third page.
Okay.
So
Very good.
City of Barnum, Barnum Township, City of Kettle River, City of Moose Lake Township, Silver Township, City of Sturgeon Lake, Sturgeon Lake Township, and now Windemere Township. Just wondering if there's any interest from this Township of Windemere in that. These are preliminary numbers, these are not final numbers. Yeah, I guess I'm just here to answer any questions you may have about it.
Sure. So this would be quite a large area. How many, this is all new to me right now.
15 officers. Would be-
How many?
There'd be 15 officers.
15?
Including the chief.
Okay.
4 overnight, or hold on, sorry. 6 days, 6 night, and 2 swing officers.
So how would this overlap with the already existing county officers?
It would not. This would begin 2027.
So,
Most Lakes contract, or you mean with Pine counties?
well, with even Carlton County, they must already patrol some of these areas, correct?
They don't patrol, they only have emergency response coverage,
Okay,
to my understanding.
all right.
Could I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I guess in a way of introduction, so is this a private group? Are you talking, these are just all these different districts or all these different communities would fund private people to do this job?
No, it would be a board-run police district. Or, yeah, we'd have elected officials, elected board members, just like you guys are, that run, just like a fire district, like the Moose Lake Fire District. That'd be a police district.
So you're starting this all from scratch?
Yep,
And then the board members would hire, and you're projecting 14 officers, 1 chief?
correct.
So we're starting this basically from scratch to kind of fill the void, in other words, or to,
Correct.
is it to fill the void, are you thinking, or is it to complement Carlton County?
Well, it'd be complementing both Carlton and Pine County.
Okay. And I'm sorry, just one more question. What precipitated this? I'm really interested to see how this all started.
So, obviously, Moose Lake lost their police department.
Yep.
I was one of the people who tried to fight that. I spoke at city council meetings and stuff. I came up with other budget ideas, stuff like that, and presented to the council.
Yeah.
However, in the end, they decided to contract with Carlton
Carlton.
County, obviously. Yeah, so we're trying to save the entire community money, and, well, I guess it would be saving Moose Lake the most money, but,
And we'd be saving money because we wouldn't be contracting with Carlton County anymore?
correct.
Okay. And you said the different townships or the different communities include, you said Barnum, Moose Lake, who else was it?
They're in your cost breakdown, your third page.
Okay.
Each municipality, so City of Barnum,
Okay.
Barnum Township, City of Kettle River, City of Moose Lake Township, Silver Township, City of Sturgeon Lake Township, and Windemere Township.
And Windemere, and this must be based on your tax revenue, is that correct?
That is correct. Well, it's based off
Excellent.
the market value of property,
Right, so that's why we would be, looks like paying a bulk share of this.
paying quite a bit of it,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
And have you presented at, or talked to, or gone to other of these,
Over the next month, I will be attending all of these
okay,
community
so this is the
meetings.
first one?
Yes.
Perfect.
All right. Jordan, thank you. I appreciate your efforts here, considering what Windemere's obligation is, which has an annual of nearly triple our current levy, makes it a bit unpalatable, I would say, at this time. But,
Like I said, we can, and if other communities aren't interested, we can lower the number of officers down.
Sure.
There are two other options, options A and C,
all right,
which are different areas. So for example, if Windemere isn't interested, including Sturgeon Lake and Sturgeon Lake Township, if none of you guys are interested, then it would just be Carleton County,
Mhm.
and then it would just be those areas. That's option A. Option C is not including Barnum or Barnum Township or Cutterford.
Very good. Tony,
Jordan,
any
where is
questions?
this building located? Like, it says a building lease of $12,000.
That would be the current Moose Lake Fire Hall.
Mostly fire hall.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Can I ask, are we gonna be licensed through the state?
Yes.
Under what statute?
We are working with Jason Rarick and,
Dotson?
what's that?
Is it Jeff Dotson too?
Yep, Jeff Dotson as well.
Under what statute though? Is it existing
They
or
don't
is
have
it?
to write legislation.
You're gonna try, so you figure that'll be done in 2 years?
We're hoping so.
And which, have you worked out with Sheriff Lake or,
We haven't had a contact with either of them yet.
or
All right, very good. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jordan.
Kip, Ryberg?
Kip Ryberg. After a brief look at the agenda, I was just curious if the gravel quotes are going to be discussed. I didn't see them on the agenda.
They'll be under the road report.
All right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Jude Stevens?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, very good. We will proceed into old business. I had a couple items I added under there. One was the state auditor request. We've had a request for information. We have reviewed some of the information that has been prepared by the clerk. There is some concern about some statements that were made and also whether it was complete. And so I would like to make a motion that I realize this is a ways off, but I will also be in contact with the auditor's office, that we meet on September 12th prior to our regular monthly meeting at 4:30 to go through and finalize a packet to be sent down to the auditor's office. So that is my motion. Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman, you're proposing to...
Do I have a second first?
I will second that
All right,
and discuss.
discussion.
So this is gonna be September 12th at
Into the
4:30?
mic, talk into the microphone.
So it's gonna be on
September 12th.
At 4:30?
Right prior to the meeting, prior to our regular monthly meeting, we can just tie it all into one.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Yep, 4:30, I can meet at 5.
Okay, let's make that 5 o'clock. I will alter my motion to make it 5 p.m. All right, any other discussion?
Where will you meet?
Why don't we meet in the township office?
Yep.
Good question. All right, all in favor of motion, say aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
29.
All right, update on options B and D. So there was some confusion when talking with the county, when Cindy was talking with the county auditor, Kelly Schroeder. And because one of the options is contingent upon the other. And so I got clarification today that what Kelly proposed in the second questions will work. And I will read them to everybody now so you know. and that is, town question number 1 will be, shall option D, providing for combining the offices of clerk and treasurer, be adopted by the government of the town? Township question number 2 is, if question 1 is approved, shall the option B, providing for the appointment of the clerk and treasurer by the town's board, be adopted for the government of the town? So the first one is the combining of the clerk and treasurer office, and then if that one is approved, then and then the second question, providing for the appointment. Again, as I stated last month, the intent is, and the hope is that if we pass these, we are simplifying the process by having a single clerk and treasurer, and then being able to appoint our township coordinator to that role. So, again, streamlining all of it, our services. So that was just that clarification.
So question, I thought the question was also, both of them have to be approved in order for either one of them to be approved.
I believe that, let's see, providing for the appointment. I'm wondering if, I think question 2, option B, I believe, yes, that can be approved separately. I believe that one could if D was, no, it's the other way around.
Well, it says it here, if an option B ballot question is submitted for the combined clerk treasurer office at the same election in which option D is also on the ballot, which is this case, the ballot must note that the approval of option B is contingent on the simultaneous approval of option D. So I think what you're saying is that option B could be approved without the option D being approved?
Yeah, it's, I've read this so many times now, and
I
I'm
know,
still
but it says
gonna
it's contingent on the
spin
simultaneous
around.
approval of option D, so when I read that, it says they both have to get the thumbs up in order for this to move ahead.
It does, absolutely. We want this both to go forward, but I believe, and I don't know why that would happen, but I think if one were approved and not the other, one way would work and one way wouldn't. And that's why the second question says, if question 1 is approved, then shall option B, providing the appointment of the clerk and treasurer by the town's board. So first we're combining the office, and then we're allowing for the appointment. So all of this is a bit of a moot question if both are either approved or disapproved. If they go up or down together, there's not a problem.
They both have to be approved.
They
Yeah.
both have to be approved.
Right. So what I'm saying is there's no confusion. There's nothing to sort out if either both are approved or both are turned down. All right, very good. Agenda. Here we go. So, property insurance, Tony?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With the board direction, I inquired from Maddit, which is our insurance company, to just come up with the maximum coverage for the garage, town hall, and the bridge. So the coverage for the garage, it went from $106,483 to $158,362, and the town hall from $153,121 to $199,557, and the bridge covered for $250,000. and the bill either should be here already or be mailed to the clerk.
Did we find out how this affected our rate? How much it raised it?
I assume, I looked at this a few different ways, and it was, initially it was $2,958. That was before the addition, so I assume that it's gonna be over 3,000.
Okay.
There should be a claim for the insurance this month.
Is there?
There's one for Matt in there.
Okay. Yeah, let me just check on that.
Would you like the total?
Yeah, okay. 3417. 3417. So it went up 400 and about $480.
Could you tell me again what the increase was? What it was and what it went to?
It was $2,958.
No, the total coverage.
The value.
The value.
So the garage went from 100 and...
$106,483 to $158,362.
Okay,
Town hall went from $153,121 to $199,557,
okay,
and the bridge cover $250.
perfect. Thank you.
All right. Very good. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
All right. We have a request for a liquor license for Doc's Sports Bar and Grill and Doc's Lakeside Properties, which is other AKA Parker's Sandbar.
So this is two separate liquor licenses?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yes, it is Doc's and Doc's Sports Bar. Okay. This are the statutes. So, and again, we kind of went over this last month with the golf club. Do we, what has been our pet fee in the past?
There's been no fee in the past, and it looks like the licenses go from September 1st to August. So after these two are approved, then we have a new year
Okay.
that you could probably charge the fee. But I gave you the statute there where you can only charge up to 20% maximum
20%
of what the county.
Of what the county.
Yeah, so the 1,700 and the 1950
So
is.
300 and some. And,
Yeah.
Took about $450, I think.
let's see. All right. Gosh, I thought we used to at least charge like $10 or something, but.
Nope.
Well, I know we did years ago. Somebody, but
So is this gonna?
somewhere it got lost.
Mr. Chairman, is this gonna start January 1st then, or September?
No, this is our last licenses that we're issuing for
They
this year.
go through
correct?
August, so starting September 1st, which, that would be a new year,
Okay,
yeah.
so it started September 1st, any licenses we tack on 20% for Windemere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could start charging for them.
Why don't we handle that right now? We don't have to, add it to this one, but we can work towards next year. Tony, I know this has been something you have championed. Do you want to make a motion that we go with the 20% of what the county is?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think this is way overdue, and 20% is very reasonable, $450, I think. I believe county charges $1,750, something to that effect.
Each
Yeah.
one's different.
$1,950 and $1,700.
So 20% additional. I make a motion to add 20% to the county.
The township fee will be 20% of the county fee.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Starting
September 1st,
September 1st,
2024.
2024. Very
Well,
good.
can I interject?
Sure.
You better go ahead of that if you want to collect for next year. Because the license expires on the end of August.
Right,
So they're gonna be reapplying next August.
right.
So I would just say January 1, 2025.
Well, either way, I don't know that the date will matter. It's, because this will be
Any
moving
new
forward.
licenses from after this, they will
Going
be
forward,
charged,
right.
going
Yeah.
forward, yes.
All right, do we have a second on that? I'll second it. Okay. All in favor of Windemere Township charging 20% of the county fee on liquor licenses, signify by saying aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, aye.
All right, there we go. I believe that takes care of that.
Can you make a motion to approve these?
Oh, sorry about that. Yes, good catch. All right, yes, do I have a motion to approve the two
Liquor license.
liquor licenses? We have one on-off sale and Sunday license to Doc's Sports Bar and Grill.
So moved.
And, okay, we could take them separate if we want. All right, I'll second that. Any more discussion? All in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, aye.
All right, then we also have an on and Sunday license for Doc's Lakeside Properties LLC. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, aye.
All right, there we go. Very good. All right. Brittany, I believe you were going to address item B here. You weren't going to. Oh, I see. Okay, I thought you said that was the one you. Okay, so we have had a credit card for some time now, from some distance away. Where is it? Omaha or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has been proposed by our treasurer that we go locally at First National Bank, which will allow us much easier access. The card that we had was in our former employee's name. Oh gosh, where do I have it? The card was to be put. Now I don't have the, now I can't remember the details of who was going to be on the card. Did you see that, Cindy?
Well, the old card has still got Mike Buto's name.
Yes.
Okay.
So-
As far as the new card, I would suggest not putting anybody's name on the card, just have Windemere Township.
I think that's what the plan, yes, I think that's the way it was. So the first would be, why don't we take that as a single motion? Do we have a motion to close the current credit card that we have at this time?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second that. All in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Can I ask a question first?
Sure.
Okay, can we not close it until after the elections? I use the card to buy lunches for my judges. Please.
Yes, all right. We can, I will make the motion to read that the card will stay active until August 14th.
Sure.
All right.
How many cards are out there?
One.
Just one credit card?
Yeah, and I've got that.
Alright.
Wasn't Mr. Mossberg using it
He,
also?
he just has the information. He can use it online because he's got the information.
Okay, so there's one card.
One
Okay,
card.
Thank you.
All right. Heidi, did you want to vote on this one?
Yep.
I-
Cronin, aye.
Okay,
She
I'm
just interrupted you,
sorry.
that's all.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, and then, do we have a motion to open a new credit card account with First National Bank of Moose Lake, reading Windemere Township?
Oh, so moved.
Okay, do we have a second? I will second that. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Overland, aye.
I'm sorry, I should ask who we want on the card or whose name should be on the,
Well, I think we were just going to put Windemere Township.
okay.
Is that?
Can you just do that without, I mean, how do you sign that? How do you verify, yeah, I'm Windemere Township? I don't know.
Kate, any ideas?
So the credit cards aren't serviced in-house at the bank, they're through TCM. So your payments that you're gonna be doing, you can view online through My Card Statement. When it comes to using a card, whether it's in person or online, most merchants, because the physical or the card holder has the card and they're completing the transaction, it's the card holder's responsibility to ensure that they are allowed to use that card.
Okay.
Most merchants do not take responsibility at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
That seems to be the case. It's better guard your card because
Mhm.
nobody's checking signatures anymore.
Nobody checks signatures and they don't really even check if the name matches anymore.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility if you have the card.
Yeah. It's amazing to watch. I'll share a little story. So when I'm in Norway, they have everything. Doesn't matter how little or what you buy, you just tap your card on there. Well, I learned you only tap once because I got an alert from my credit card that, did you buy 2 of these? And no, I don't think I did, but apparently I'm paying for it. So anyway, be careful on that.
So who would be holding the credit card? Would it be the
Township coordinator.
coordinator? Okay.
Did you know?
Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Again, this is Brittany Stampahar, Township Coordinator. One thing that I would like to do, and I'm not prepared for that this meeting, but next meeting, introduce a motion so that we would have a credit card policy where whoever was to use it would know what they can and can't spend it on. They'd have to sign a document saying, I do have the card, or something like that. So next month, I would like to bring forth a credit card policy that we can all abide by.
Excellent.
Thank you, Brittany. That sounds very practical. Good. Okay, item C.
I am prepared for that one.
Very good.
Okay, you're all gonna get sick of my voice and my name
I'm
again.
sorry, did you guys vote on that? On the motion? I thought we were talking.
No, there was not a vote, John.
Thank you. Sorry. Glad you're watching me. All right. So I believe we had a motion and a second on opening a card at First National Bank. All in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Coney,
Okay, I'm back. Again, this is Brittany Stampahar, Township Coordinator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce 3 new policies tonight that I'd like the board to consider and hopefully approve of tonight if possible. The first one I'm going to pull up on the board here. So currently, and all of you, everyone at the table here has a copy of all of this. I will try to make it not confusing. Your second document in your packet is called Windemere Township Public Hearings, Rules of Procedure and Decorum. This was adopted August 27th of 2019, and I just wanted to update it by adding the first document in your packet, Amendment 1. What the amendment would do is it would put into policy, and this policy will be publicized, that'll be the third motion. It will require all agenda items must be shared with and sent to the township clerk and township coordinator. And what I would like to do in there is add the recorder, township recorder as well, via email no later than 12 p.m. on the Friday prior to the monthly township board meeting. No agenda items will be added after this point. The clerk will then create, finalize, and distribute the upcoming board meeting's agenda by 5 p.m. on the Monday prior to the monthly township board meeting. Distribution of the final agenda will be emailed to the Board of Supervisors, Township Coordinator, Recorder, Treasurer, Zoning Administrator, and Roads Manager no later than 5 p.m. Monday prior to the monthly township board meeting. Distribution also means, according to Minnesota State statute, it will be posted on a town hall bulletin board. I spoke to the Matt attorney today, and he did mention that it does have to be in a public spot, whatever that designated public spot is, and I believe for us it is the town hall. So it does have to be posted there every month. And something else I added is posted on the website. So that is the first part of the amendment. Would you like me to keep going with the amendment, or do you want to discuss?
Let's discuss a little bit. So according to this, if something comes up between Friday and say our meeting is Thursday, which it traditionally has been, we would not be able to put that on the agenda?
That is correct. What I can do is I can strike that line from this paragraph, or what I can do is say, any agenda item introduced after this deadline must be approved by a board chair, by the board of supervisors, or just strike the line altogether.
By the board at the meeting. Yeah, I think. Would I be board, anybody?
Yeah, I like the idea and I agree, you have to have flexibility there. And it needs to, any agenda, any changes need to be approved by the town board during the meeting. I'm gonna have an ask 2 questions I have, because I'm not always the keenest on keeping my schedules. I'm gonna also ask to indicate at some point that an email will come out from either the clerk or the coordinator asking for the agenda items. You know, of course, prior to whatever date we set. So we have a couple days to think about it and get them to you. And I'm wondering if it would work instead, because oftentimes that the asks will come out like the Wednesday or Thursday or Friday before, and to give me the weekend to think about it and get you agenda items Monday morning, or either that the ask should come on the Monday before the Friday when you want us to get your agenda items. So just some email that should go out saying, I need your, reminder, I need your agenda items by Friday. Something like that to trigger that.
An email reminder is basically
Yep.
what you're asking. Yep, fair enough.
You want that sent on Monday?
Yeah, if you want to keep the date that we have to have the agenda items to you on Friday, then an email should come out, I think, the Monday prior.
Okay.
That would be helpful.
And I do apologize. I will gladly make those changes. As I was talking today with the clerk, we discussed actually that my deadline, never mind, I'm sorry. I'm on section 5 already. Ignore that comment.
Are you going to continue?
Yeah, were there any other changes to section 2?
I'm good.
Okay. Moving on, this is just a formality. Section 3 I was going to delete. It just says that the board agenda will be posted at the town hall and website minimum of 2 days prior. So I just am going to strike that from the previous policy and make it the one we just read. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. Last portion of this amendment would be section 5, and it's very similar to the earlier one. It's just requiring all reports, handouts, PowerPoints,
Can you raise it?
Yes. All reports, handouts, PowerPoints, presentations, forms, etc., which are to be presented and/or discussed at the public hearing, must be shared and sent to the township clerk, township coordinator, and recorder by email no later than 5 p.m. Monday. And then from there, the clerk and township coordinator together shall create, finalize, and distribute the upcoming township board meeting packet by noon on Tuesday prior to the monthly township board meeting. Distribution includes sending it to all board members, zoning administrator, treasurer, township coordinator, recorder, roads manager, as well as on the township's website. My biggest question on this one is, everyone at this table, are you able to deliver all of your packet items by Monday at 5 p.m., the week of the meeting?
Sure.
Paul's not here, he might object to that one. Is it reasonable to make it 5 p.m. Monday, or would 12 p.m. Tuesday be better? I don't want to make this impossible.
The question I have is, and this sounds wonderfully efficient, I like that, I'm not arguing at that at all, I'm just wondering if we're pushing things more than we actually need to, if there is a reason why we would need to be quite that far in advance. So, yeah, maybe more like Tuesday noon or something.
Okay, I'm happy to make that change. One reason that I would say the purpose of this is that I have been told by community members that transparency of the Board of Supervisors has not been ideal. And what I see as one step to improving that is letting everyone know on the website, public access to the agenda and to all of the documents, so they can review it 12 to 24 hours prior, or 48 hours prior to our meeting. That way, we're being a little more transparent, we're showing them what we're doing, we're showing them our documents, etc. And they can come a little more prepared. That was the purpose of this.
Very good. All right, do we have a motion to approve this?
So let me qualify. So you will have all the information to the township coordinator and clerk by 12 p.m. on Tuesday, prior to the monthly meeting. And when will you distribute that information and post that distribute the information to the supervisors and treasurer, zoning, whoever else, as well as post it on the website? Because we're backing up the dates here, because first it was Monday that we'd have to get that information to you, now we're saying Tuesday. So then would you have it to all the board members and then posted by COB of Wednesday?
I would say Tuesday, 5 p.m. So we get it by Tuesday, 12 p.m.
And then you would be able to distribute the same day? Okay.
Yep. Email it and then post it the same day.
And post it on the township website?
Yes.
Okay. And then that gets back to another thing, the one thing that I want to make sure clarifies that when the sending out the meeting invites, letting people know a couple days or the Friday before or Monday before what time the township meeting is and where it is. That hasn't been happening regularly, and I get quite a few texts before the meeting. Are we still having a meeting? Where is it? Is it
And
so.
hello, and that it's being broadcast.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely, and where
Just want to
can
make
we
sure that
follow?
happens. So I don't know if
Yep.
if this would be the right place to add that,
Um,
to send that out somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so you would like to advertise that we have a meeting the second Thursday of every month at 6:30 p.m. and where at? Or
No, it's so just like you sent out the meeting message today, it came to my email right away. We do that instant messaging or whatever.
Okay.
That instant message goes out to whoever signed up to get those instant messages.
Okay.
Like the Monday before the meeting or even Tuesday or something like that. So everyone gets it in their email that's signed up to get those alerts.
Yeah.
Does that make
just
sense?
just a reminder
Yeah.
alert.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And where it is and stuff.
And I assume that everybody that's either watching or listening is signed up for the
Sure.
Windemere alerts, but if you aren't, it would be a good idea to do so. That way you get notified about anything that's happening within the township. All right, do we have a motion to approve this, what are we calling this? Amendment.
So moved.
All right, is there a second? I will second that. All in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Coney, aye.
All right. And have a second.
Okay, thank you again. Brittany Stampahar, Township Coordinator. The next policy I'd like to bring up is policy and ordinance publication. So another issue or another goal to try and improve transparency among the board and the community would be to publicly post every policy and ordinance that we do, and then to actually reprint our physical copies and make them available every other year in our office. So I'll read this to everyone. Once a township board has approved of a resolution, policy, or ordinance, the township coordinator must post the document on the township's website within 5 business days of the monthly township board meeting in which it was approved. Beginning in 2025 and every other year after that, the township shall update, publicize online, and print the most up-to-date versions of all resolutions, ordinances, and policies on the township website and in print, copies of these ordinances will be held at the township office for the public to access and take.
Very good. Board, any questions, comments? Again, I think a lot of this is, a lot of what we're discussing and things we're doing are going to depend, again, on getting our website cleaned up. And from what I hear, it's not too easy to work with, so hopefully we can get that improved as well. Do we have a motion to approve this policy?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the policy, termed policy and ordinance publication. All in favor signify by saying aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, aye.
Thank you. Third and final is the policy for applications. After a very brief review of our zoning ordinances, it's come to my attention that there are a lot of applications that we require be filled out, but we do not have those created. And so in an effort to, here's the policy, in an effort to streamline things and get those policy or applications up on our website and available to the public as soon as possible, I have written this zoning application policy. So I will read it now. For all applications that are required by Windemere Township's ordinances, the Township Coordinator shall draft an application, share the draft via email with the Planning Commission, the Board of Adjustment, and the Board of Supervisors. The Planning Commission and Board of Adjustment may review the application and provide feedback to the Township Coordinator. The Township Coordinator will finalize the draft and introduce it to the Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors shall review, edit, and approve/deny the application at the Township Board meeting in which it was introduced. Once the Board of Supervisors has reviewed and approved of an application, the application must be made available to the public on Windemere Township's website. And in follow-up to that, I do have 2 applications with me for your review and approval tonight.
All right, well, we'll discuss the policy first. So you've heard the policy. Questions from the board?
Question for, are any of these applications something that within the ordinance that the zoning coordinator, zoning administrator, whatever the title, is allowed to approve without it coming before the Board of Supervisors and the Planning Commission and the Board of Adjustment? Because there were things that Dennis Jenny was able to approve, like permits and things like that. He didn't bring all the permits in front of the Board of Supervisors, Planning Board. So I'm just wondering if either one of these applications that you're presenting are just able to be approved by.
These are just the forms.
Okay.
We're talking about the form that the people would fill out to apply for the permit. That's what we're referring to by these forms, correct?
Yes, that's correct. And then the Planning Commission will take them up and review them. This isn't saying every decision needs to be done by.
We're not.
Okay, so all you're saying is that you're trying to come up, because that was one of the things you brought up in your email, that we need to come up with some certain forms that we don't have.
Yes.
So what you're saying is that, here's an example of 2 forms that I came up with, and so you want these forms approved by us. So that's what you're saying. You're not actually saying, well, the person filling out the application, we're going to be reviewing and approving all those applications.
Correct.
Got it. Then I see where it's going. Okay, perfect. Okay. Thanks for clarification.
Tony, anything?
No, I feel comfortable with that.
All right, so we have the policy, which is the approval of Windemere Township zoning applications. Do I have a motion to approve this policy?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, aye.
Great, thank you, everyone. And so now that that is passed, we have the, the authority for you to review both the applications in front of you. These are both drafted by me after looking at Pine County, St. Louis County, and Carleton County forms. I ask that you look at these and review them. Any edits or changes I'm happy to make. The one thing I want to draw to your attention is, well, a couple things. I did get, I sent these to the Planning Commission so they can review it and give me any feedback if they want to. So they are aware of them. Also, the rezoning application does have a fee that you guys approved of $750, but the minor subdivision does not have a fee. So tonight, if you approve that application, we also need to approve a fee.
Can I see this? I can't find it.
Mr. Beckman, what are the charges right now? What are the fees right now for the simple application?
Depends on the project you're working on.
Okay.
Square footage for buildings, minimum of $100. Shoreland, accessory houses are 55 and 65 and so on.
Is planning committee, are they working on coming up with a new fee structure?
Didn't you just work on that?
For the, for what you guys approved, for the rezoning, of course, the minor subdivision is a lengthier process as well, and would require at least one meeting, if not two, and a possible public input meeting, so it would be a time-consuming process.
Right. All right. As far, well, let's take them as the forms themselves. Does anybody on the board here have any problem with either form? Or do you need more time?
So question I have is, are we getting ahead of ourselves? If you gave this to the planning commission to review and they have changes and we're gonna go ahead and approve these forms, are we gonna come back and amend our motion? Or do you want us to wait until you get the buy-in and any changes from the planning commission? Then it gives us time to give you feedback, and then you can, come up with whatever changes that, either this board or the planning commission has for you, and then re-present it, or how do you want that to work?
Yes, thank you for that. So, Planning Commission has had their rezoning application for over a week now. No edits were made. And then the minor subdivision was just sent to them today, and I asked for all feedback to me by 8:30 tonight.
That's tough, though.
I've received no feedback. So I believe they're, sorry.
I was interrupting you.
I believe they understand the importance that these get done because of outside issues that are happening, and so they're okay with pushing these forward faster than usual.
Okay, good. Yep, that makes sense, absolutely. Yep, if you're comfortable, absolutely.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the application forms for rezoning and minor subdivision? 1 second. Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor, please say aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, aye.
All right. Aaron, it's a little out of order, but I'll let you, if you have a question or comment, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have a quick question. Sorry, I'm a real estate attorney, and I was wondering if our Windemere Township's own zoning ordinance was looked at while creating these forms, because typically there's a process that the zoning ordinance lays out to make the form. So I was just wanted clarification that Windemere Township's own ordinance was looked at.
Yes, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. It was looked at, and there is no policy or procedure in the ordinance as to how we should move forward. So that's what this is doing. That's what the policy they just approved did. Thank you.
Very good. All right. Brittany, did you have anything else?
The fee.
Ah,
So the fee, so
Fee.
you didn't happen to get any idea from the planning commission, because that's where I feel a little bit, I don't know what to propose for, a fee, if they gave you any idea or any feedback on that,
Well-
based upon the amount of work or anything?
I think if I can interject here,
Yeah.
what we might want to do is just do some simple math here and figure this out, because personally, I don't feel that the township should be footing the bill on any part of this. So I think between Brittany, Scott, and probably Vern, maybe Heidi, you've had we both have had some experience in this. Let's figure out what meetings are required.
Yeah.
And how many meetings, mailings. One of these, some of them require actually notification of a whole bunch of neighbors and things like that. So what is required on a minor subdivision? Scott, do you know offhand?
I'm learning as it goes, but
Sure.
Just meeting the qualifications in the book, the zoning ordinance book. On some of them, if they want to go less than that, there's a variance meeting. The application, then you have a variance meeting.
So this minor subdivision requires a variance.
If they're not dividing, if they divide into, say, a 2.5 acre as required in some areas, then they just get it. If they comply
Okay.
with the ordinance. If they're asking for something else, it may require a variance meeting.
Okay, so, but would a variance would be a separate application, correct?
It would be, yes.
Yes. So,
How is the minor subdivision application any different than the rezoning application as far as time? Does anyone know that?
as far as what?
Like amount of time spent or steps or hoops that you have to jump through? Because that was set at 7:50, so what's the difference?
Yeah, Vern, go ahead.
Brittany, would you mind
Do
pulling
you
up?
have your mic?
Brittany, would you mind pulling up page 105 on our current ordinances? Under the minor subdivision part. And that would give a better insight to the folks, the process.
What page again?
105, I believe it starts on minor subdivision. Oh, hold on, right there. There you go, section 4.0. So that explains the process currently in effect.
Okay. For those who can't see it, perhaps any subdivision not requiring the construction of a new road, public or private, to service the newly created parcels, provided that each parcel created must have a minimum lot size of 2.5 acres, a minimum road frontage of 300 feet, and a minimum depth of 300 feet to ensure future access to any remnant landlocked parcel created as a result of a minor subdivision. The zoning administrator shall require as a condition of approval placement of a 66-foot fee-owned access strip attached to and made part of the remnant landlocked parcel. Any subsequent subdivision of the remnant landlocked parcel utilizing the provided access strip will be governed under the formal platting provisions of this ordinance.
Yep, and I think some people may understand that and some may not. I think what would be more important for your guys' process tonight would be to go to page 106, line 402.
Okay.
Application for certificate of minor subdivision. And this lays out the requirements and the process, for this. Goes all the way through what the zoning administrator needs to do and such. Basically what it boils down to, they have their process, the zoning administrator, and it says after consultation with the planning commission, it may require a public hearing. And it goes on from there. So your question was, what's it take to do this?
Yeah.
It takes work, a considerable amount of work from the zoning administrator up front. Then he or she would then bring this to the planning commission for review, and if need be, depending on the requirement, may have to have a public hearing. So you could have up to 2 meetings. One for sure, possibly 2. So if you're looking
Okay.
for cost
Yeah.
and time with the zoning administrator at an hourly rate, so.
Is it more work than rezoning application?
I would say not, because I believe that your zoning, or the rezoning has probably got undercut a little bit, because you got to actually go at 1,000-foot radius of a property and notify everyone with a mailer, so.
So really what happened with this rezoning fee is it's too low. I don't think we're even covering cost on that one, probably.
So as a commission member, I mean, to me, it would line up at $750 for the minor subdivision, and you would cover your cost at a minimum.
Okay.
It appears that your rezoning fee is not sufficient.
All right. Board members, any recommendation?
I recommend 750.
All right, would you make that a motion?
Yes, yeah, I would like to make a motion to make the applicant fee of $750 for minor subdivision application.
All right, we have a motion, is there a second? I'll second that. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Crony, aye.
All right, very good. Now, have we covered everything? All right, what have I forgot? No, good. All right, very good. I believe Paul put this on there, treasurer recommended audit. I'm not sure what, I know Paul being in the banking business all his life was very used to and accustomed to audits and saw their value, and I believe he's recommending that. That will become a part of the process if the clerk and treasurer offices are combined. That will be mandatory. So I'll just leave it at that. Supervisor other at this point. Heidi, do you have anything at this time?
Yeah, I thought I had emailed Cindy asking her to print off an email from a Kevin. It was a complaint that came to the board, was emailed to the board.
It wasn't the one with the screws on the road,
Yep.
was it? Okay. Yeah, I think we all got that. So,
He wanted me to bring it back up, so I'm gonna
Okay.
try to see if I can do that here. Said I would do that at the meeting.
all right.
Had to do so with some damage in the, what did he say? He said-
Well, he wanted to know the name of the company in case,
Yeah, it
he
said,
stated in case he had a damaged tire.
he said that it was a washout of Parkview Drive in the rain. This was sent on July 21st. The road width at 17 feet 6 inches where the road goes down from the hill from Lord's Lake.
Well, I didn't get that one, no.
I didn't get
It was, came to Roads, Windemere Township, and you were CC'd on it.
Okay, I don't anyway.
Anyway, so it says when they left the area, there was, okay, so what it says, the roadway width is 17 feet 6 inches where the road goes down the hill from Lord's Lake Road and curves into the area of the Moose Lake Golf Club. During the work, there was only room for one vehicle to pass at a time, but there were no flagman or signs stating single lane. The workers were directing traffic by themselves. When they left the area, they placed barricades along the shoulders on both sides of the road and then laid the red barricade boards, 2x6 boards, in front of the sawhorse barricade. They also strung yellow plastic tape between them. This reduced the roadway width to 13 feet 6 inches. I measured it. A normal traffic lane is 12 feet. Shoulders are normally 8 feet. This is not wide enough for 2 vehicles to pass. I'm a retired Minnesota State Trooper. I have never seen barricade boards placed in front of the actual sawhorse barricade. I have no idea why this was done. There was no signage on Lord's Lake Road or on Parkview Drive advertising a narrowing one-lane road or even of road construction ahead. Drivers had no warning. On Thursday, July 18th, I was traveling towards the golf course on Parkview Lane. A copper-colored Jeep came around the curve by the maintenance building at a high rate of speed. It was in the middle of the roadway. I was traveling in my Toyota Prius, also in the middle of the roadway. I was forced off the road and ran over one of the red boards. I took a photo of the board. The board broke, and a portion of the board which lodged in between the right front wheel well and the tire of my vehicle took out the sidewall of the tire. The repair cost was $225.15 for a new tire and was done by Compete Auto in Moose Lake. I'm writing to you to bring this to your attention so that in the future, construction projects have better and proper traffic control signage, and I know there's a manual. I know that there is a manual. I'm requesting reimbursement for the tire, or at least a portion of it. The driver of the Jeep was certainly at fault for his or her speed. However, the lack of proper warning signs as well as improper use of the boards by laying them on the road was also a factor. If the board was not there, I may have been able to avoid losing a tire. So I responded back, thank you, Ken, I appreciate this. And he said, I'm just reminding you about the construction zone on Parkway. I never heard from the road department after sending the email. This was very hazardous construction zone. Compensation for the tire would be appreciated. But proper signage and procedures in construction zones are more important for drivers and workers. So that's the issue that I want to bring up.
All right. Vern, what do you know about, is it generally, and Scott, maybe you have some idea on this too, who's generally responsible for putting up signage? Is it the company themselves?
Contractors do have a responsibility to sign it,
Yeah.
but I'm not familiar with statute on it. I know they usually sign it 500 to 1,000 feet out with signs, so I'm not familiar with this situation.
Yeah.
I know currently they're signing an flagman at the launch, so that's a little larger project on a major road.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about around the golf course there.
Vern, do you have any comment on this?
Yeah, no, I didn't respond to the email. There wasn't really a question. It was a comment he had made. I did read it, and as far as reimbursement, I'm not in a position to do any reimbursement for tires. You know, there's hazards when driving on a public road.
Well, that would be up to the board if we were to do
Right.
that. And this sounds more like there are other parties that were responsible for this other than Windemere Township would be my comment on it.
Yeah, so what had happened when Rokon came in there, they did their work, and that's part of my report. They fixed the shouldering, and it is a very narrow road through there. Of course, it's a dead-end road, and traffic is, it can get, be more or less depending on the time of the year. And so what happened here is, I don't know exactly the situation, I've been there enough, but when Rokon left, they had called me and said, hey, you may want to put some type of barrier up along there, because if somebody drives in it while it's still warm, you're going to depress that down. And I believe there was a major event coming up the next day. So we went there and put some barriers up to keep people off of that 18-inch strip of fresh asphalt or whatever. So as far as what happened with him, I can't tell you, I mean, what he did there, but you know, I was working there and it didn't seem to be an issue with traffic. It's kind of on a curve coming down that hill, and so that's how the barriers got put up.
Do you know why the boards were laying on the ground?
There was a couple boards that were or one or two boards that were there, I believe. If they were part of those, they're like a portable barricade. Yeah. They're on a metal kind of an angle, and they go between. So whether one came out or somebody hit it, I don't know. I
That's
can't
not
answer
the
that.
way we had placed it.
No, that's not the way we had placed it. So, and there were some cones. You know, we didn't have anything as far as this kind of material to, like traffic cones, which I ordered some now for that or whatever. But so this was one of the things that got done last minute. That's not the excuse or the reason, but the barricade thing, if it came out of its holder, I don't know what happened, but
Yeah.
I wasn't there when this event happened, so.
Yeah, I do know, because I had driven down there when the barricades were up, and I know the point where he was talking about, and if there's cars parked there, it's difficult to see around that corner. And so because everything was so narrowed down, you pretty much had to be in the middle of the road in order to just get around the curve there. So this is a tough one, especially from it coming from somebody with you know, a little bit more background knowledge. It seems like being a state trooper for as long as he was and having to deal with this type of issues in violation. I don't know.
All right, well,
Maybe instead of making a decision on whether or not we're going to compensate him, maybe a phone call would be good.
yeah,
Why don't you give him a call?
does he, do you have a number there?
I forwarded the email to you.
You just did now?
Yep. Well, no,
Okay.
I didn't. No, I did not. I forwarded to Cindy to send on to the board.
Yeah.
And again, if you check, it came to you July 21st.
Okay.
I mean, is your email, maybe I don't, maybe you didn't have it right. It says AlanOverland@WindemereTownship.com? Or is there a dot between Allen and Overland?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Let me go back to, you said
Sure.
the 21st.
Yep, it's a Sunday.
21st. I did not receive it, no.
That's what I'm wondering, is your email Allen.Overland@?
Yes,
That's why
Let's
it
see.
didn't go to you.
yeah.
Okay, so I just sent it to you
I
now.
don't know what it is.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
so I just resent it, so it has his contact information. So maybe
Okay.
just give him a holler.
Yep, will do.
That'd be great.
I don't have that either.
You didn't get yours either? Okay. Yeah, all right.
That's it, that was all for me.
Tony?
I'm fine. Mr. Chairman, since we have hired a well-qualified township coordinator that's doing an excellent job taking care of business within the township, I feel no more need that we collect an extra $200 per month. With that being said, I would like to make a motion that all elected officials are paid $100 per meeting.
Okay, let's have some clarification on that. Right now, our meeting fees are 100, 100, and 110,
Right,
and
we have
80 for the clerk and
correct.
treasurer.
We have a salary of $200.
And we have a salary, yes.
So
And
I'm-
so what are you,
I'm saying that, we should take the salary out.
okay. So your motion would be that we would remove the salary from just the supervisors, is that what you're saying?
All the elected officials.
Okay, well,
Because, Brittany is taking over a lot of those responsibilities. So, one of the reasons that we had salary because there was, a lot of work that was being done. It used to be hourly, that we cut the hourly out.
okay.
Turn it to a salary, so,
So, but now there's different salaries between us. Cindy's salary is quite a bit different than the supervisors. So are you referring to just the supervisors? Or are you saying Cindy's, what are you saying Cindy's would be reduced to?
well,
Or just the
no, I'm
supervisors?
just thinking that, all the elected officials, so right now, we don't have anything for the treasurer, obviously. I would recommend down to $200 salary plus the meeting for the clerk.
Okay. Well, all right, you made a motion. Is there a second?
I have no idea what the motion is.
No, all right, yeah, I'm.
And with all due respect, I appreciate that we have a coordinator, but to be honest with you, if anything, I think I'll be tasked with more work because I'll be reviewing a lot more information like the information she sent out. I still get calls to it doesn't change what I do, it doesn't change the amount of time I spend, it doesn't change the research I do at all. And so I just, I completely disagree with you.
The salary is something that we've just had for the last year and a half. So prior to that, there wasn't a,
There was an hourly, you could charge hourly.
I see.
Yep, so when I would go to quote a non-official meeting that didn't call to order, if I met with, if I, drove someplace and they specifically set a time to speak with someone or speak with two other people or talk to somebody from the Lakes Association, the sewer district, I would get paid whatever it was, $20 an hour to go do that. And so now instead of charging for that individually, I don't charge anything. I just do, it's $200. So whether I go over that or whatever the case may be, it's $200. And then I get paid for meetings. So.
All right. In discussions with some other townships, I know they have active township lives as well. I haven't heard of a lot that have salaries. A lot of them just have their meeting fees. I certainly have felt that having Brittany on board has reduced at least some of the pressure that comes with this and turned over. As far as the clerk goes, certainly some of the work has been reduced there, but I guess my feeling is this position perhaps is short-lived anyway, and we will be readjusting once January comes anyway, depending of course on how the vote turns out. But consideration of the vote that we had in March to not increase the levy at all, it does make us put us in a situation where we are not funded probably to the degree that we should be. So anyway, I have always had the saying that I have used for a long time, that we are public servants, not public slaves. So I believe there should be some compensation. Where that happy medium is, I'm not sure. None of us do this job for the money. There are a lot of months where you couldn't pay us enough to take the headache and the stress that you go through to be on this. But it also is a public service. So, right now, Tony, we have a motion without a second. Is there any other motion you would wish to put forth at this time?
Well, really, that's what my intention was, that, we have a coordinator, but I'm open for some suggestion.
All right. I would, well, let's, why don't we, I'd be willing to go halfway on this and at least for this, and then reconsider that we would reduce the salary of the supervisors from 200 to 100. And I would make that a motion.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to change the supervisor salary from $200 a month down to $100 a month. All right, discussion? Heidi, I guess you've stated your opinion on that. I hear what you're saying. The meetings that we have during the month sometimes can help compensate also for that, depending on the length of them. So, any other comment you would like to make?
The meetings that I have should be completely separate than the work that I do in between the meetings. And I think that the meeting of this board being the fiduciary responsible party for all the money and all the decisions that go through this, again, to consistently take the hit and be, the target of reducing the financial burden of the township is I think a short-sighted, ill-sighted argument, considering we have a salaried road maintenance person. We also have another zoning, I don't know if you're an administrator now, Mr. Beckman, or what you are, that has a salary typically between $1,000 and $2,500 a month. And so the value of the work that I do here, by reducing it, you're saying it's not valuable. And you're right, I am a public servant. And what I do is valuable, and there's a lot of things I do that I don't get paid a dime, and that's not what I'm here for. But I think I'm worthy of what we made the decision on for $200 a month. And again, to say we're being, responsible with the taxpayers' money because we're cutting the supervisor's salary is a short-sighted, ill-sighted argument, in my opinion. So I do not agree with it at all.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just thinking back again to when I've served on the board in the past. There were times then when, and that's why I brought it up when I first got on the board here again, was the idea of having a salary, because sometimes if you don't make the meeting, then you got zero. And that's the way it used to be. And that I certainly didn't feel was right, because you could put in a lot of time in a month, and then if you didn't happen to make the meeting, you got absolutely nothing. That can happen. But I think we can revisit this again in January, but right now I'm going to call the question. So, all in favor of reducing the monthly salary from 200 down to 100, please say aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, no.
All right. Tony, anything else you have?
How about the salary for the clerk?
Are you making any motion?
Well, yeah, actually, I would like to make a motion, hers to get cut in half also.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't hear that one.
All right. The motion is to cut the clerk's salary in half. Is there a second? All right. Motion dies for lack of second. All right. Also, we've got a town hall update. There's been a committee that has been meeting. It was the 6 that were selected by 2 from each of us as supervisors. And then I also joined the group as well, along with Brittany. We have been considering various options, looking at all the various things. So we have had 3 meetings so far. This is an all-volunteer group, just to make sure everybody knows that out there. I've heard that people have said that they thought that this was just another group trying to collect money. There is no payments being made to anybody on this committee. This is completely volunteer, and we are trying to consider and look at all options that are available to the new town hall. And so we are, there will be updates coming out on that, correct? Next week, yeah, on what has happened at these meetings. So, All right, with that, absolutely.
Just following up on that, the update we're going to be doing is going out to everyone who is subscribed to the website. That's the only contact information that the township has. So if you want to receive updates on when meetings are occurring and et cetera, whatever's going on in Windemere, please subscribe through our website.
And encourage everybody you know in Windemere to do the same so that we can inform our people of that. There has been considerations of trying to put out some kind of a mailing, but that's gets very time involved and expensive. Yes?
Can I, on the website, what is the actual name of the website? Because all I ever get on the Windemere Township website is postings by Vern and Tony and Paul once in a while. Nothing else ever shows up on there.
Right.
So what is the exact email or what do
Okay.
we sign up to?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So on the website, the actual website is windemeretownship.com. And then if you scroll down all the way to the bottom here, click this box, click to subscribe.
Okay.
Then on there, you'll give me your name, your email, and you don't have to give your name or your phone number, but if you want to be contacted, that's how we would do it, is through your email and phone number. And then you just select subscribe at the bottom.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good. Excellent. I'm glad she could show you that because I couldn't. So, again, help that out. All right. Heidi, did you have anything else for Supervisor Other?
No.
All right. Tony?
No, thank you.
All right. Road update.
Thanks, Alan. I'm going to report in August here for work that was done in July. Fairly quiet month. Brittany, you can go to the next slide, please. So we did our usual grading and some work at the bridge cover. Electrical was installed and it is now complete. Looking to do some the final pressure wash and staining here sometime in September. The pictures that you're seeing here on the left, as you're looking at it, is what we were talking about here on Parkview Drive. So that was the problem. The picture on the right was the solution. Now Heidi indicated 17 feet, whatever it was. It was actually probably less than that according to the plan. And that was a problem because we should have never had this issue if the road was done wide enough in the first place. So I believe this was they had about 780 feet of repair, rock and reditching. It was a pretty lengthy process with all that asphalt. But anyways, if this would have been done correctly from the get-go back in 21, this issue most likely would not have happened. So, but it is a very narrow road going through there. So next slide, please. Here's the grading schedule as it was in July. Feel free to...
Who's controlling the screen?
She is.
There we go.
You want this one now?
Yes.
Yep, just that one. Yep, and so these are in order by month and by road. And is that my interference?
Might be too close.
Oh, should have done that, Vern.
It's just nasty.
That's
Anyways.
that's part of the mic, Vern.
It was broken.
It is.
It was, and it is good now. So, anyways,
It's worse now. That's a windscreen.
I'll do this. Something right with this mic.
Tony, hand him your mic.
There we go.
Every time I talk, it was flopping.
Well, you're maybe a little too close.
Any better?
Yeah.
All right. So the next slide is just, again, continuous grading in earlier months of the year. Number 5 slide, please. There you go. Again, same stuff that we've been talking about here. There actually is nothing that's added to that slide as well. And the next slide, there was some comments about that picture that was on Facebook there, and we just happened to be out talking to some friends there by the bridge, and Representative Dodseth drives up, and has a conversation, and he thought that bridge cover was the coolest thing he's ever seen. And so he decided to take a picture by it. So that is Jeff checking things out and giving it the thumbs up. So anyways, these are the contractors that we did work with us here last month. And under decisions and comments, by the way, that donkey's become pretty famous in Windemere Township. He is all over the internet, and people are feeding him, and he is absolutely loving the attention. So
It's Earl.
That's Earl. Yeah, that's Earl. But anyways, so what I got for discussion here is you board all have a packet that was handed to you and emailed as well. There is a change order. For the first thing, I'd like to have you folks review. And I'll certainly explain that to you whenever you want me to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so what this amounts to is the county has their portion of Sturgeon Island Road, which is part of the state aid project, okay? And what that was proposed through that area is a 1 3-inch lifted asphalt. We are also doing a project on each side of the bridge to finish Sturgeon Island Road, which has been pending since 2021. So what the consideration is here is we are doing 2 2-inch lifts for a total of 4 inches. And it's the same contractor doing both projects. So the goal was to just continue on paving through with no seams and the same depth of asphalt. So it's all uniform for the remainder of Sturgeon Island Road. So this is a change order to add on that extra 1 inch for that county portion that they have overseen.
The county portion,
Of the bridge project.
Right.
Of the bridge project.
Right.
Yeah. So that's just a 1 inch extra that we would be responsible for.
And, okay, so we were already getting 4 inches on our portion.
Correct.
This is just an add.
Add 1 inch to their portion.
To their portion.
Yeah.
And what is their portion again?
Their portion is one single lift, 3 inches deep.
Okay, but from what distance? Do you remember approximately what it is? It's like 100 feet
It's
on each
about
side?
175 feet on the land side and about 150 feet on the island side,
Okay.
approximately.
That is their portion.
That is their portion, that's part of that.
And we're not paying for that blacktopping at all.
That's part of the state aid bridge project,
Right.
for the 648,000, so
Right.
the consideration was just to put 2 2-inch lifts through the whole section of the road, so it's uniform and done at the same time.
3 inches sounds very thin for the amount of truck traffic that goes through there,
That's
I
correct.
would say.
Yeah.
So,
So that's a change order for you guys to discuss and consider.
all right, do we have a motion to approve this change order to add 1 inch more asphalt to this project? Just shout it out loud.
Yeah, in order to keep everything smooth and without any seam, I make a motion to make that change order.
All right, do I have a second? I'll second that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Overland, aye.
Gary, aye.
Connie,
All right.
So now we have a couple of quotes for crushing gravel in our pit. And the first one, you guys have all read these, I'm assuming. First one is from Rokon Paving. They indicate that their first statement is that Township is responsible for any clay that needs to be hauled in and out of the township, or hauled in at the township expense. The crushing of Class 5, approximately 10,000 yards at $4.50 a yard. And they also said that they will test the Class 5 every 1,000 yards, so it continues to make spec throughout the pile.
Yes. Get
I'm
back.
going to do this here, if you talk there, now if you talk in the front of it,
Okay?
yeah, but you can be back a little bit, you don't have to, because your air is
project
what's popping it.
You're not Tony.
Yeah, is that better?
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Very good.
All right, so that's number one. Number two came from Ryberg and Sons Incorporated. It states crushing and stockpiling approximately 10,000 cubic yards of Class 5 gravel in Township pit. Crushing to commence on or before August 19. Crushing and stockpiling is $3.80 a cubic yard with a setup charge of $6,000, which if my Willow River math equates out to about $44,200.
$442 a yard.
Yeah. All right, so, Rydberg, you're here.
Yes.
Yeah. You have nothing in here about testing.
Well, you test,
I'm
that's what you do. That's
MnDOT
more-
certified gravel tester, so
That's
I
what
can
you do.
test out.
up to the podium, you guys, so people can hear on the recording.
Yeah.
Adam Ryberg, I'm a MnDOT certified gravel tester, so we
Okay.
will be testing it, yes.
Okay.
That's basic, yeah.
It is, okay, all right. You, I believe, do you know if you were the ones that crushed the last,
Not the last time.
not the last
We were,
gravel?
yes. I don't know if we were last. We have crushed in the past.
Yes, I know that, I'm just wondering if it was the last
I
one.
believe we weren't the ones, but I think the last couple of times before that, we were the ones
Okay.
that crushed in there.
Okay. The only reason I ask is, not very flattering, but that wasn't particularly good gravel that we had last time,
What
so.
makes you say that?
I believe it was pretty sandy,
No. We got the test, probably. If we made it, we have a test.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, there was nothing.
We've never made a non-passing gravel
yeah, well,
for
yeah.
75 years. That would not be us.
All right.
What do you recommend, Mr. Anderson?
So after talking with our pit boss, Tim Goebel, he's not familiar with Ryberg in their product, and he recommended going with Rokon. And,
We've crushed for you guys probably,
excuse me, can I,
Yeah,
Well, I wanna-
please. Yeah,
we've crushed for you guys
I know.
15 times, probably last 50 years. Never had an issue.
yeah.
I don't know why you say our gravel's no good. Do you got tests to prove it, or you just?
so let me repeat
I
the
already-
same.
I didn't even, I
That
don't
kind of
even.
affects, that's kind of,
That's
Hang
not-
on,
he's got
hang
the
on.
floor.
well, that's
I'm
kind of
just,
towards me personally.
no, because I didn't even know for sure if you guys were the ones that did it. That's what I was trying to clarify. I
Well,
don't
you have
know.
proof. When you,
Yeah.
if it wasn't, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the statement I made was our pit boss, Tim Goebel, isn't familiar with Ryberg's product. He is familiar with Rokon's product, that's what I said, and quoting Tim Goebel on there, so. And I guess the guy might as well address this right now. If you recall, earlier this spring, we were threatened with legal action from Ryberg, and I'm not sure that the board wants to continue on with any relationship with threats coming out like that, so the recommendation would be to go with Rokon. Yeah, an $800 difference,
$800 difference, excuse me?
so.
Yeah, that's what it was.
450.
Yeah,
42?
44, 2 versus 45.
I
So,
mean, did you go ask any, we do crushing for Carlton County, we do crushing for the townships around this area, Sturgeon Lake, Birch Creek.
so, all right. All right, do we have a motion?
It's all shenanigans, right? Jeez, Louise.
I make a motion to go with the Rokon paving for the amount of $45,000.
Was that a handwritten quote too, or was that email?
Both of these are, this one was handwritten, yes.
That's not a quote. Can I see the date that it was received? Because per the advertisement, all quotes must be submitted by email by August 5th.
Yeah, this is in on August 2nd.
Huh?
This one was submitted August 2nd is the date of it.
The handwritten?
Yes.
How does it says it where? We should have an email date on it then.
Okay,
You know,
we have what I believe is a viable quote
Not
here.
if it's not emailed by August 5th, and there should be a date on the email.
Hold on, Alan, I'll tell you what it is here, just a second.
Well, that's, you can't lie on an email date either, it's always. Every email will say the date on it.
It was sent on August 2nd and received
Okay.
Friday the 2nd.
Sent
To
how?
Rhodes. It was sent to email,
Sent to
electronic.
Can I see
Okay.
that email date? It should be on the email.
So, all right. So we have a motion to accept the proposal from Rokon. And do we have a second? I will second that. Discussion.
I was on the board, you're correct. We used you quite often, and you always came in, and you did a nice job, and we've never had any issue.
Thank you. That's
We've always
the only
taken in the
time-
past, we've taken, no matter if it's $850 or whatever, because you have worked for the township for a long time, we have taken your product and we've used your quotes because you have been good to work with in the past and because you've been reasonable. So the fact that we're deviating from this blows my mind a little bit.
And I'd like to add that I've been going to meetings since I was 16 years old for work. And today was the first time I didn't have a positive reaction to my work. That's 25 years.
I wasn't reacting to
Yes,
your work
you
again.
simply said my gravel was bad.
No,
That's what you said. That's my livelihood.
I said, when we were saying we didn't know who the last crusher
You
was.
said the gravel was bad. If it was mine, you were directing it at me and my business and my livelihood.
Okay,
That's not
So-
your position to stand without, if you're gonna say something like that, you better have proof and tests and everything.
all right,
That's
thank
my
you.
livelihood.
Agreed. All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. I like to when we can maintain some civility at a meeting.
Yes, me too.
And-
You directed a comment towards me belittling my company. I did not.
But I'm not even referring to tonight, I'm referring to the comments
We're
of a
not, we're
couple
talking about
meetings.
tonight right now.
I'm not, so thank you.
Mr.
You do
Chairman,
not
this
have
is
the-
exactly
you do
what
not-
happened last
You do not have the floor at the moment, so thank you
Okay.
very much.
Just, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, not do the best for your townships.
Right. All right. All right, motion is on the floor. All in favor signify by saying aye. Oberlin, aye.
Cronin, no.
All right. Next, Vern, what else you have?
Reasoning in here.
That's all I have, thank you.
All right. Zoning update?
Zoning report for July. We had 10 permits, couple residents, garage, a lot of shore houses. Following up on a couple final inspections. As far as the blights go, we started 15 with letters, probably another handful with verbal. So far, we've got about 8 that are in the process. We've had some good luck on Alder Loop, removal of a house and a couple old campers. Another one on Alder Loop, we had a bunch of cars and trash removed from the projects. We have one that has been purchased by another owner and the tenants are being evicted, and that should be cleared early October. We've had a couple ride-alongs. Brittany and I went with an individual today. I went a couple weeks ago with another individual. I've showed them what I've been working on, the projects or the people I've had contact with. Also, they showed me some other issues that were involved in some of these houses. So we're working on that. I'm gonna have a second series of letters going out here shortly, starting another batch, and we'll finish up the first batch here coming up. Also, I am serving a notice of revoking a permit to an individual or individuals. Basically, the parties failed to comply with the zoning ordinance, and also they failed to comply with the determination or the ruling of the commission, the planning commission. They had asked for variance, and that was denied, and they went beyond what they were supposed to and started a project. So some of that is with the applications that we approved tonight, and moving forward, they're going to start the process over. Boat landing, second lift was done today. They also, the neighbors had met with them, so they were finishing up the road. It appeared to be 100% done. I'm sure they still have some finish up, but it should be done by tomorrow. Dock should be put in very shortly, so turned out nice. A little different layout, but I think people enjoy it down there. That's about what I have for this month.
All right, very good.
What was the name of the, what are the name of the parties that you're doing the revocation?
Now we're gonna serve that tomorrow. I will talk to you afterwards.
Okay.
All right, planning commission, any report? All right, very good. Fire district?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, the meeting is scheduled for next week, so I have no report.
All right, very good. All right. Yeah, you can, absolutely.
Thank you. So it was brought to our attention, I believe yesterday, that our planning commission meeting is happening next Tuesday, the 13th, and that's actually an election day, and so we cannot have a public meeting held that day. So that meeting has been moved, not the 13th, it will now be next Thursday, the 15th, same time, same place. So not the 13th, August 15th, planning commission.
All right, very good. With that, we'll review the claims. Very good.
And that's also the mail. That's only mail that was received. Oh, except I threw away some coupons.
Okay,
Sorry.
very good. Yeah.
I won't do it again.
Yeah.
Paul gave me that. Oh, you got more? Sorry. Okay. Sorry, this goes in with the mail. Thank you. Well, he's doing that. I'm going to have you start signing these. These are just the policies, just.
All right.
I don't think I need you to sign those, I'm sorry.
So I have a question on this claim here. Cindy, maybe you can help us on this. Scanning documents, what was scanned?
She's catching me up on the claims that she scanned from my computer.
Okay, I was thinking the claims had already been scanned. Okay. I thought we had set a policy that we were not going to be doing scanning anymore at one of our meetings.
I'd have to look up and see, I don't remember that.
All right.
I think that was in June, that was discussed, in June.
Seems like it was longer ago than
Well,
that.
not this June, the year before, I believe.
Oh, I
it was
see,
last,
yes. Yeah, that makes
It
sense.
was right when I started doing the minutes, but I'd have to listen to it again now.
Okay. Is there a reason you don't just scan these yourselves? I mean, while you're working with them?
It's tough and it's extremely tough, and the machine that we got to do the scanning is even slower than the old machine. I mean, it's not, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
All right. So Becky, what machine do you use?
Yeah, we'll read Cindy's house.
So she uses the same one?
Right.
Okay. Well, I thought we had decided we weren't going to be doing that anymore. No.
Did we get a copy of that? I don't think so.
He emailed it to me today.
Okay.
Can I send it to you?
Please. Thank you.
The copy.
Actually, yeah.
Are they striping it and everything, or?
So I don't know if that'll be maybe next week, maybe next week, but, and if they're gonna put the old dock back in, I guess I'm not sure of that, but the blacktop of the asphalt was down today. On my way to the meeting, so concrete's there and they do have an outhouse there, so it looks like it could be open for.
Yeah, because I know that the sunfish contest is the 17th.
Yeah, it'll definitely be
Oh,
open
yeah, you
for that.
too. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, they had the concrete in and lifts into the lake in about a week ago, and the first lift yesterday, and then today they were still, and then they went up, what is that little road up,
Yes.
4 houses.
Yeah, I don't know if
They
it's part of launch road or.
yeah, they did they bid with them to do that, so they were finishing that up this afternoon since they were there.
Sure.
But looks good. It's a little
Well,
different.
it was so horrible, it was so full of potholes and shit, that's good.
It's a little different.
So I was going to add that one.
It should
It's
work.
not on yet. I was going to talk to her.
So they took that big outhouse out of there then?
Which should be a bit.
That got out, and they're gonna have, it looks like the portals will be one of the same items.
No, I know, and I'm not disagreeing with that. Just she's not
It looked like
listed,
there was
so
some kind
I'll have to get
of
that fixed.
gazebo thing or something.
Yeah, I suppose.
Closer to the lake than just what it could be somebody else.
Heidi, would you mind signing this? I was trying to be deputy treasurer, and if you don't, your signature card. professional things.
So this, what was that piece of concrete up there? That's a boat wash we're gonna have, so whether or not that's ready this week, that's kind of where you pull on, and I think they might have like a spray station eventually to wash out. And then they have that little gazebo there, I think what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
thinking.
think they're gonna put garbage cans in maybe an outhouse and a couple of houses, so they don't get tipped over.
Cindy, I have you.
So that's kind of what we're looking at. And
If you
then,
don't mind signing that it happened, and then I'll get, and
no,
today maybe,
it's,
and then I'll get, Al.
Windemere company.
I just assumed.
And that's, or no,
Thank you.
Knife River is.
Yeah, I saw the truck with us.
Yeah, Windberg did the excavating and all that, and then it's Knife River. So, and
It's going on, plus somebody passed, we must be doing something, because they see, Dave Gerard's been calling, about the money. I don't know if I'm full.
I guess it was the last night, so that's the first lift. That was last night, the second lift was today. So you kind of come down and then go around, and the lifts are further away.
Don't even go to the lake, so I take them off. But then, our people who don't have trailers, you know, they come over to the parking spot and then they I don't know.
I think there's much less.
It's not that big.
What does it mean when you walk
Thank you.
Well, there was
Thank you, ma'am.
I'd have to see what, yeah, because I'm not gonna cover it, but it's on video. Him tearing it up. I'm not sure if that comes separate from the mic.
We need, there should be.
Yeah, if we can get it before our
This,
meeting
yes, this is your
next
next
week, but.
project.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's swampy stuff, I just let the weeds filter it.
Can I get the claims?
Yeah, this came through like a
yes.
audio company out of Duluth, so I'm not even sure what the brand is. Well, but yeah, but that is intentional. Like I added thing, it comes right on the mic, you know, it's like a.
If you don't mind looking for it, otherwise.
Yep.
So I do, but I can't send it to anyone or myself. So I need Ron to come in and like Christian on the computer and then use it easy. I guess I could now.
Big trailers, it's still gonna be a kind of a big cut to get in and around. They didn't increase the size of the
Understandings.
Yes, I can. That's easy.
I don't have anything, you know, I don't have a 30-foot. I put page 25 feet on, it goes into the spring, it sits on the center.
I don't know where they go, they order the claims. So maybe it's Tony's, as Mr. Buckner's.
That might have been
Yeah,
good
that's
too.
nice.
Original before, correct, yeah, I think we need to sign that.
And then we're gonna have the inside done.
And this is the email.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
no,
handy.
yeah, I
And
know.
then you
this
gotta
is supposed to be-
really hit that tree.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so, checks, yes.
I like it. That's cool.
Yeah, he's a happy camper.
Yeah,
He's got
that is.
everything.
Yeah, nice cut.
Yeah.
And I think, oh, that'll be fun.
I heard there's some.
Yeah.
I was scared to do this. So I'll go home when you're coming up and say, are we doing
Great.
it?
Yeah, it's all up there on top.
Or sand?
Yeah, because there's no one. It's just a concrete pads that go into the lake.
That would be.
So, but no, they,
If I could ever find
Sand lake, nice,
yeah,
small.
but I haven't heard anything. You heard anything about the launch, or they doing anything?
They just put up a sign when the waters were high that,
No way.
yeah, no wait, but other than that, I don't think there's anything to the lift is fine. They put it in, I don't know who did,
It sounds like eventually they're all gonna get a refurb, so, but
I don't think that would need it.
not right now, probably, but
Yeah.
I did hear Island may get one next summer, so.
That's just and grass.
Yeah, but, they may, I think a lot of it is to give that area, clean them off and get the pond to hold that ain't running off.
Yeah, I guess I know. You know,
Cindy.
how bad the weeds are.
Cindy,
you know,
oh,
yeah.
okay. And then,
They go to
can
the landlord
I got more for you to sign
Lake Association.
when you have a minute.
Yes.
Depends on where you are. You know, 30 feet of water, it's great.
Mhm.
Do you need those again, the claims?
Rainwater just would allow you to launch during the week, but not.
I need
I talked to,
let's see.
Chris every morning.
I think she's probably just in the back.
And I talked to, when I lived next door to Brent, and I was, so I talked to, I wanted to come on, he says, no problem, he says, you can do it anytime, he says, if we're busy. You know, I can sit-
Cindy, do you have the summary for the, you used to always give the little,
I've got nothing to give.
okay.
I didn't realize that was supposed to say, I didn't realize, yeah.
Which is another reason I like what Ron used to give us, because it had all that information on it.
Okay.
It's only 100 back.
Cindy, I'm struggling here, there's all these loose pieces of paper here. Robert Kanowski, Scott Beckman, I see this, and then it's got part of his timesheet here, part of his here. Then there's the Scott Anderson property management stuff here. Then here's Ron Mossberg's claim, and it's not attached to his.
The ones that I had, I gave with
That
claims on them.
That maybe got mixed up down here, I'm sorry.
Well, it's just not stapled to anything, so.
Yeah.
Tony, did you get to look at the mail?
And this is while you submitted that? What's your submittal?
No, so I can't sign because I have to pay.
That's his property.
No, I understand that, but do you have anything else other than this, than the sheet that you submitted for you?
I haven't received the timesheet.
Okay, no, that's good, I just wanted to see, because there's, like you said, there's all this loose stuff.
Yes.
So I don't know what that's for. And here's another one. No, that's okay. Who should I give this to attach this to? Okay.
Cindy, I'm sorry, I have to copy of all those, I was supposed to do that, I forgot. Can I do that right after this meeting? Sure. I'll make it super.
You think we should use a sign?
Unless you want to give it to us.
Oh, wait, I'll do it tomorrow. Friday. I don't know what the.
Okay, I kind of have a question. Cindy, Heidi, maybe Tony, you guys can answer this. So for all the past meetings, we have had all of these direct deposit lines and we've had all of that. But what was the purpose of that?
What do you mean, what was the purpose of it?
Exactly that. We are approving, all we are approving is the expenditures. We don't need to approve whether they're a direct deposit or whether they're a check or whatever.
No, but it's information that I use when the clerk and the treasurer have a separate set of books.
Yeah,
All that information is something that I put on the spreadsheet in the clerk's books.
okay.
To you know.
But it really doesn't need to be a part of this meeting per se.
It doesn't really have to.
No, we're just, all we are approving is what the expenditures were.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say that they're not right if he's got the gross amount on the payrolls on there.
Okay.
And the other thing I forgot to bring up too is that Brittany being paid twice a month, I have no record of it and it's not on there. So I don't know where her expenditure is going either.
Okay. Oh, it's not on here at all.
So, like I said, Paul needs to, I'm
Yeah.
hoping we'll go back to the way that Ron did it because it was so simple and it was all there.
Yeah.
Please?
Okay. You're right. So, you're right. Guess you're not getting paid.
Just that guy. On there, Cindy did fill out a claim for me. I just can't sign it because I have been paid.
Sure.
The claim says you have not been paid. So.
Okay, I see what you're
And
saying.
I will
Yeah.
be submitting a timesheet from
Right.
here on out for you guys to.
Okay. Well, again, we are in transition here, and we will hopefully get some of these things straightened out. So anyway, we have the claims. It's direct deposit 1689 through direct deposit 1692, and EFT 2419 and 24-18. And it appears that the total amount, and I am not sure why there's a discrepancy in the columns. So what is that?
There's a second page of that.
No, it is these columns, and they vary by $32. So what is the difference here? Okay.
Cindy, do you have checks? Yeah, I just don't want to misplace them. I don't need them. I just want to make sure you have them. Oh, yeah, and you mail them. Okay.
All right. So there is a discrepancy in the columns here between total amount and amount charged, and it is the one going to Curry and Rupee. Let's see what we have here. It's $331.25 and $142.50.
Oh, interesting, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So I'm not sure. Every other amount seems to quote. No, it doesn't. Okay. No, not every. No, they don't. No, there's difference. Okay.
do you have the answer, or do you?
Yeah, let me just do some quick math here.
Okay.
And see what adds up here. Okay, so.
Are there two different, so, okay, one of them is to general, and one of them is to road vacation. I don't know what that means, but he might have put it in different. Right, so that's the total, so you're missing 198.75.
Okay.
Is that in there?
I didn't look at it.
Might need to get this corrected and then have it
Yeah.
signed.
All right. So we have reviewed the individual claims, and there may be some discrepancies in the total dollar amount, but I do believe we will need to at least approve payment of the claims that were made here. We'll need to do some checking on these. I believe last year that I thought we had passed a motion to not do any further scanning. So I'm not sure why that has happened again. I think there are ways that
A motion
maybe
wasn't made.
a motion wasn't made.
No, we discussed it.
It didn't need a motion.
Well, I guess officially, maybe it should, so. At this time, I would make a motion that the scanning should be done either by the clerk or within the coordinator or however. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Any further comment? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, aye.
All right. So, do I have a motion to pay the claims?
So moved.
And with the dollar amount to be, the total dollar amount will be determined and presented at next meeting. We'll have to get this figured out. It is in the area of $47,402.65. Did we have a motion?
Yep,
Yeah, okay, and I'll second that. All in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, aye.
All right. Everybody had a chance to review the mail. Anything there else? If not, I believe we could have a motion to adjourn.
That's fine.
Motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second? We'll second that. All in favor, aye. Overland, aye.
Bakhtiari, aye.
Cronin, aye.
All right. Thank you all for coming.